Chok! Jeg troede lige, der kom ud. Jeg troede lige, der kom ud. Hej alle sammen, og velkommen til endnu en video. I dag, der står vi, hvor vi slap forleden, da vi var inde på Yukon Valley. I dag, der fortsætter vi med vores story missions. Så ja. Videoen fra Yukon Valley, den er selvfølgelig lige blevet optaget, så jeg ved selvfølgelig ikke, om I kunne tænke jer mere af det her. Så det bliver det i hvert fald til nu, og så må vi jo tage den derfra. Så jeg fortsætter, hvor vi slap. Vi skal op til en eller anden togbro og se på land 3. Så det gør vi.
We're getting close to the tree that's threatening to fall onto the track. I'm guessing it was loosened in a recent storm. Yukon Valley tends to get lightning storms in summer, but we do a thorough job of preparing. So we only saw a couple of small fires that went out on their own. I've only ever seen one landslide. It's hard to tell what caused this tree to blow air. I guess he was this display of natural. But I trust you to get the job done to do to land the plane. With a hatchet. Some of my team are still recording the after effects of the storms. I've heard reports of huge trees with deep roots that are now at precarious angles and might need to be cut down. We're lucky to have such isolated incidents. Other reserves have reported landslides.
Så den er i hvert fald ramt. Nu må vi jo lige se, om vi kan få den. Nej, det tror jeg sgu ikke helt på. Nej, jeg tror det der dyr, det var vist også boks, så også fast og sådan noget, så. Det tror jeg sgu ikke helt lige på. Nå, vi skal... Det var her.
Great work out there. The train is behemoth.
And
I don't think a single tree would do more than dent it in a collision. But I'd rather not take the chance and risk a serious accident. Speaking of the train, it's due to pass by at any moment. I'd stay clear of the tracks if I were you.
Det er kørt forbi. Altså,
keeping that railroad open is a big responsibility for us. Not only is it essential for a lot of trade operations, but the bridge brings tourists in all over the place. I'd like a good picture of the bridge. One that we can put on our website. See if you can snap it while the train is passing over it. That'll look great. That looks like a good spot to take the photo. I used to come out to this corner of the reserve with my family. We'd spend long weekends camping, and I'd teach my youngest daughter, Klarer, how to shoot. My older daughter, Denne, was still an angry teenager who needed convincing to take part in any activity. She'd always be laughing and having fun by the end of the trip, though. It's a shame we couldn't catch it with the train on top, but it's still good. Those trips are some of my favorite memories. It brought us all closer as a family. Being alone together. I'll send this picture over to Sandy. Her team takes care of the Yukon Valley website.
Hold da op. Det var alligevel en del for at tage et billede af en bro.
Next up, head over to an outpost that we're replacing. Not too far from where you are just now. The cabin was lost in the Yukon forest fire 2 years ago.
Der løber et dyr deroppe. Nej, er det ulve? Nej, det var ikke ulve. Jeg kunne bare lige tjekke på, om jeg skulle være opmærksom. Jeg kan godt lide den måde, det sådan er lidt åbent på. Så kan man også se noget længere og se flere dyr og sådan noget.
I saw the fires that tore through that forest, and I still struggle to accept just how quickly the landscape can transform in this smoldering ash.
Nå, det... Ej, jeg har været brændt her. Nå, ja.
It could have
Det
been a
giver
lot
sgu da
worse.
egentlig ret god mening.
Maybe you're lucky in the right
Der har
place.
været brændt her. Det er
We
derfor, der er
lost
så
too
tomt.
much. This
Hey.
is the Basri Memorial Outpost. Or at least it will be, once you get it up and running. Ranger Crawford has left the supplies that we need for the finishing touches. He was going to set it up himself, but his wife went into labor just as he got here, so he had to rush back to town. The workstations look like they're ready to go. If this trial goes well, we might see more researchers setting up camp across
Hold da
the
kæft.
reserve.
Hvad?
Now, though, let's get
Der er
things
hunder på
powered up.
computeren.
The supplies
Griner.
will include fuel and a generator.
Den stod sgu da der, gjorde den ikke? Ikke den? Nej, det var ikke den. Eller hvad? Nej, det var det ikke. Ah, der.
Just stick a little fuel in the generator and fire it up. And we're in business.
Sådan.
I'll let our researchers know they're welcome to visit when they're ready. Of course, you can sleep here and restock your supplies, just like any other outpost.
Der går dyr derop.
The outpost is just the first part of our restoration efforts. The supplies should contain a couple of things that you're going to need for your next job. Planting new saplings. Take the bag of spruce saplings and the shovel, and let me mark a spot for you on your map. It's a tough road ahead for this part of the reserve. The fire burnt away a huge chunk of the forest. But with any luck, a program of replanting will gradually bring life back. I hope to see it happen in my lifetime.
Wait. Wait. Okay, det var hvad jeg troede, det var det der. Eller hvad? Jo, det er kraftedme. Det er kraftedme ude ved det der. Chok! Jeg troede lige, der kom uld. Jeg troede lige, der kom uld. Fuck et
Gray
chok, mand.
wolves are responsible for the majority of lost caribou herd in Yukon Valley. And their packs are growing every year.
Jeg fik et chok der.
Out here in the wilderness,
Caribou.
they don't have any reason to fear humans either.
Nej, ikke det.
I'm hoping that a side effect of thinning out their numbers will be the introduction of a little doubt before they attack a human at least.
Nej. Så de løb. Den her vej, tror jeg. Fanden er alle sporene henne? Det var da belastende. Nå. Det var det her. Okay, jeg ved ikke lige hvorfor jeg har det der dodger dims op i hjørnet. Jeg kan desværre ikke gøre så meget ved det nu, tror jeg. Desværre. Så det må vi lige leve med.
I was in Yukon Forest during the night of the fire. We predicted a few spots as potential fire sites, and we're doing our best to prepare. But there were too few of us, too much ground to cover. I sent most of the team away when the storm rolled over us. It was getting too dangerous. You're in the right spot. I haven't been out to that corner of the reserve for quite a while now. 3 saplings should be enough for now. Can you see the shell of the old tree?
Ja.
It was the first casualty when it was struck by lightning and went up in flames. We lost more than the trees that night. It took less than 5 minutes for the blaze to take hold and travel towards us. Our rookie trooper, Omid Bazzi, was the only one not accounted for. Kendrick! Where are you? When I found his radio, a part of me knew straight away that we'd lost him. I wanted to go further in and look for him, but the fire was impenetrable. The wall of heat was advancing and I couldn't stay there. I just made it out before the fire consumed where I'd been standing seconds before. We went back as soon as the fires had died down and started looking. We found him, but it was as we'd feared. The outpost here is dedicated to him. We all take a special interest in overseeing restoration of the area where we lost him. Naturally, it was a tough time for the whole team, but it brought us closer together. We supported each other and Razzy's family. You do what you can, right? We devoted ourselves to our work, and we worked to ensure that it never happens again. Today's undertaking to replace lost trees is another step in revitalizing the Yukon forest. On my last flyby, I definitely saw some movement down there. Can you scout around the tracks in the burnt forest? I'm keen to see what animals are returning.
Nå. Det er de ikke lyst til. Ser det ud til.
Finding tracks out there is a good sign. There might not be a lot of cover or food yet, but at least some animals are starting to come back. I don't have any more work for you out in Yukon Forest, but I just received a message from a research team that could probably use a little assistance. Let me speak with them, and I'll be in touch with you shortly.
4.000! Sådan, mand.
I have a new job for you. One of Yukon Valley's research teams have asked if we can help them to fix a piece of the equipment they're using to track animals around the reserve. There is a box of parts that you'll need to pick up, sitting in one of our outposts. I'll mark it on your map. Normally, I'd tell them we're too busy for this, but they need to wrap up their research before winter settles on the reserve. It'll be a much easier job if we help them out, and I'd like to keep working with them next year. I'll call you when you're getting close to the outpost. At any one time, in that Yukon Valley is hosting at least 5 different scientific studies. A lot of them are a simple case of setting up some recording equipment and leaving it to record data. But some involve a more hands-on approach.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
Nå, jeg prøver lige at relogge en gang og se, om jeg kan få det der væk.
Is using those parts to fix them.
Ah, det er den der. Sådan der.
You did it? It's working? Fantastic. I will check in with the researchers to let them know it's fixed. They probably noticed that their equipment's range has just risen dramatically. I just called the research team and they've confirmed that the relay is working now. They've asked if you could take a look at one of their trackers that has been dormant for the last 13 hours or so. They weren't sure if the lack of movement had been due to poor signal, but now they're certain that something's happened. I'll forward the details. Looks like wolves got it. But something scared them off before they could really finish their meal. Grab the collar and you're good to go. Okay, I think we're done here. let's move on before anything comes sniffing around. The researchers have been using Copper Bowl Lake Outpost as their base camp, and you can drop the collar off there. Don't expect company, though. The research team are always out and about. I knew I could count on you to get the job done. You're becoming my ambassador out here, and I gotta say, your work so far has impressed me. At this rate, I'll actually be able to do some paperwork today. Seems a little strange to be excited about that, I guess. Hopefully, I'll manage to spend some time with my wife this month. Now that I remember, I gave your number to Oscar, the researcher in charge of this particular population study. He and I work well enough together, but you'll be better placed to help him out.
Spænende.
You might have already heard from him about work he needs help with. He injured his knee in the summer, so he's a little behind schedule.
Okay, så vi har noget her. Der er noget her.
During my last flyby, I noticed that there were people walking around inside of the Millerwood mine complex. The entire complex is closed to the public, but that hasn't stopped some people from trying to explore the buildings. I'd like you to head over there. Make sure that the place is still secure. The mine buildings have been sealed since the mine closed in the 30s. They occasionally get curious tourists, but once they see the no trespassing sign, they tend to take their pictures and move on without getting too close.
Det her.
The warnings are mainly for the benefit of the tourists anyway. We keep an eye on the place, but it isn't maintained. If you're injured out here, it's a long walk to find help. I suppose this is a good time to remind you to be careful while you're out there. There's been talks of reopening the mine as a museum, but the cost of renovating the place is staggering, especially when you consider that we need to build a road just to reach it. There's a couple of groups that could be trespassers. We lost a pair of men that entered the reserve a few days ago, but they're here on a hunting trip with a respected guide. I'd be very surprised if we brought them anywhere near you. The other group I know about is a film crew that asked for our help to shoot a documentary about what they call local folklore. Apparently they've toured the USA hunting for monsters or aliens or something. A place as wild as this has stories, of course. The native Alaskan myth, the tall tales of drunken gold miners. I've been here for almost 2 decades. I've only seen Bigfoot twice. Church.
Hold da op. Det ser stort ud, det der. Det er sådan et lille kraftværk.
Millerwood doesn't have a lot of hiding places. The buildings are still all locked up. They should be a quick search. Whoever was here has probably moved on. I want to be certain. Take a look around the complex. My last inspection was 6 months ago and all the buildings were secure. Let me know if you see anything suspicious. Nothing but ash left now. Oh, and they kicked down one of our keep out signs. Would you replant it, please?
Jamen så. Lad os se på det. Hvad er den her? Yep.
Something's not right here. This door should be locked. The building's empty? I don't know why they'd want to be in here anyway. I'm going to call Gabriella Bodden's film crew. The one I was telling you about. I just want to make sure it's not them who have been breaking into the buildings.
Der ligger en telefon.
Is that the phone I'm calling? Not much point in me calling it now, huh? I didn't expect this from a professional film crew. What possessed them to enter this building? I need to speak to them about what they've done here. That phone picks up is the only way I have of contacting them. So we're gonna have to track them down. Given their total lack of bushcraft or respect for their surroundings, it should hopefully be an easy trail to follow. You've done a lot to help, but this is gonna need an officer on site just in case things get ugly. I'm on my way. Look, to your east, there's a column of smoke. It looks like it's coming from close to one of our lookouts. I told you they'd be easy to track. Let's catch up with them before they set the whole forest ablaze.
Bigfoot Hunter bliver simpelthen næste afsnit fra Yukon Valley, hvor vi kører story missions. Igen, jeg ved ikke om det er noget I kan lide. Alle de her story missions, de bliver optaget i et rap. Jeg optager det næste nu, og så glæder jeg mig til at høre, hvad I synes om det. Tusind tak fordi I så med. Husk at like, subscribe og kommenter, hvad I synes. Vi ses i næste video. Ha' det godt. Hej hej.